Hello there. Welcome to Inexpert Film Advice, where I give my inexpert advice on film and filmmaking. Now, this is a video that I've wanted to do for a very, very long time. Today, we're talking about how to make a blockbuster featuring Star Wars. I'm going to give you 3 ways to make a successful blockbuster by following the blueprint that Star Wars laid out. Now, I'm only focusing on the 1977 original Star Wars. If you want to see me do any other Star Wars or any other blockbuster films, leave a comment below. Or you can mention me on social media. My handle is here. Alright, here we go. Star Wars. Everybody knows Star Wars. Even if you haven't seen the film, you know of Star Wars. For that one person that's been living under a rock, Star Wars is one of the biggest films and one of the biggest film franchises of all time. But while watching, I noticed a few things that you can do to make your next blockbuster a hit. First off, maximize the characters. One of the strongest aspects of Star Wars is the colorful cast of characters. Whether it's Han or Luke, C-3PO, Darth Vader, the Star Wars universe is littered with amazing characters to get behind. Each character has a unique personality that is turned to the max. Take Han, for instance, the OG half-witted, scruffy-looking nerf herder. If George Lucas had gone with a more realistic characterization of Han Solo, he wouldn't have been nearly as fun. Instead, we've got a badass who seemingly gives zero fucks about anything. He's maximum levels of cool, selfish, and smug. So much so that if we saw those characteristics in any other character in the Star Wars universe, we'd automatically start to think of Han Solo first. Maximizing the characters' personalities in such a way gives the audience something that they can latch on to. Something that they can say, I'm just like that, or I'm not like that, or I wish I was like that, or I wish I wasn't like that. Take for instance C-3PO. 3PO is a know-it-all. He's kind of OCD if a droid could be OCD. And he has a stick up his ass. Him being really the first character that we're introduced to, we can latch on to that personality and see ourselves in it. The point is, in a blockbuster, the more clear the person's personality is, the easier it is for the audience to latch on to them. Point number 2. As we maximize the characters, we minimize the story. Now, that does not mean tell a bad story. That does not mean be lazy with your storytelling. And it definitely doesn't mean to not challenge your audience. Minimizing the story means taking it down to its bare essentials. The reason why blockbusters do so well is because of escapism. Sometimes people want to sit down and turn their brains off, which is not a bad thing. Break your story down into introduction of the characters, characters finding the problem, and the solution to the problem. In a blockbuster, that's really all you need. Star Wars is the perfect example of a good story being told simply. When your story is told simply, we can more so focus on the characters and their interactions with one another, which for the majority of blockbusters is the driving force. Minimize the story, maximize the characters. And finally, have innovative and unique action sequences. It's a lot harder now to come up with unique and different action sequences, something only a lazy filmmaker would say. There's always a new and different way to shoot something. Pay attention to what the industry is doing and try to do the opposite. Try to take it to the next level without copying what else is going on in the film world. This is exactly what George Lucas did in 1977. He saw the trends that were happening in film and did the opposite. He came up with new weapons, new vehicles, new ways to fight each other. And he did so by taking real world aspects like sword fighting, aerial dogfights, and he made it unique to his own story. We as filmmakers should never be satisfied with doing what everyone else is doing. If you want your blockbuster film to stand out, your action sequences have to stand out. If you can do that, I can guarantee you will be successful. In a world where every summer film seems to have its big action sequence, you coming up with something new and different and unique will take you to heights unseen. Now, it's not easy, of course, but if you take the time to sit and think and come up with something new and unique, then you've got yourself the makings of a good blockbuster. But what do I know? I'm no expert. But I'd like to know what you think. What are some of the reasons why you think Star Wars was such a successful blockbuster? Again, drop a comment below or mention me on social media here. Also, let me know if you have any other topics you'd like me to cover in Inexpert Film Advice. I'm your host, Deontay Jenkins. This has been Inexpert Film Advice. May the force be with you, and I'll see you next time.